He said, what if you just convert that nervousness to and anxiety to like being excited?
Yeah. Wow, so cool. Maybe I could try doing this in my assignment, you know.
As though any time you are not spent doing work, you are very unproductive, and you shouldn't do that. Oh, if you got time to rest, then you should have time to do work. What?
When I was still a student, I know nothing about the industry at all. I just do not want to stay in Malaysia.
Your class has had quite an impact on how I do things nowadays, even in my final project.
Oh, heard about Gigabash before you mentioned about it actually.
It's on Steam, you know.
Oh.
It's on Epic too. But anyway, just now Victoria actually touched a little bit about motivations, energy and all, and we also mentioned about in the animation course we have quite a lot of assignment. Everything is just like packed into like these 3 years. It is, I wouldn't say it is enough or not enough. I mean, it is not the interview to say that. I just want to ask you guys like how you guys maintain that level of energy. What is your secret? Can you share with everyone?
Secret. Usually, you ask for a secret when that person can actually maintain their energy.
I mean, yes, but if you don't have that energy, it's fine. Just want to be honest.
Well, I guess one of like the greatest way for me to just make sure I am like I have the energy to do what I need to do. I need to do what I like. Like if I'm like, okay, I need to do this. For example, maybe I want to draw or I want to watch. But then I'm like, oh no, but deadlines, I need to do this, do that. But then if you are very like haunted by like wanting to draw, wanting to watch, and then you don't actually do it, you will not give your all when you're doing your work like that. At least that's for me. I just like I just want to do something else. Like I get in that position a lot. Like being torn apart, having too many wants. I want to do this, I want to do that, and then just being strict with yourself. Okay, if you wanna like watch, you watch first. You actually watch first. You take your time. Then you really do your work, and that's how I do it. I just like, okay, I want to watch a series. Okay, let me watch 2 episodes. Okay, maybe 3, maybe 4. Okay, enough. Okay, then I do my work. And then okay, maybe I need to rest. Okay, I need to eat. Okay, I cook. And then like I just keep on doing what I want to do. If I need to rest, then I need to rest. So, but as long as you don't like really like, okay, I watch, I draw, I cook, I watch, I draw. Okay, wait, my assignment when? As long as I don't do that, yeah, I'm usually like, I can keep my energy, and I am scared of deadlines. I'm actually a very not last minute kind of person. I cannot do last minute one. Like I mean, if I really have to, then I will. But then if I can pick, I will always do it before. Like, okay, assignment. Okay, what am I gonna do with this assignment? Like, I like to plan. I just like to plan. So having like a constant plan of what I'm gonna do, I can expect how tired I am from that day. So knowing that I'm gonna be tired that day, if I'm tired that day, I don't mind it. Like tomorrow I'll get back up. Something like that. Yeah, that's all from me.
Sounds legit. Sounds legit to me.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
For me, it's the same, you know. I think we're all victims of losing motivation. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me is how you get your motivation back, or it's not really preventing it from going away. Like taking these words from Dickman, you know, if you feel like shit, you just spend the day, rest. Like what can he say, right? You know, if you don't feel like doing anything, don't force yourself to do it, right? Because I mean, the work that you output is also going to not look very good, lah. So yeah, I feel like for me also it helps a lot when you try and inspire yourself when you're feeling down. Like go play some games, watch some like shows that are really high quality, and then, wow, so cool. Maybe I could try doing this in my assignment, you know, something like that. And also it helps that you have people to talk to, to encourage you, people who support you. It's very important. Yeah. And also like keeping your energy up, I feel like very important to not screw your own sleep schedule. Don't go and stay until like 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, then you're dead for the next day. Then I feel like for me at least, that's like one of the killers. You know, you do that the next day, you should confirm dead already. Yeah.
Wow, coming from Kuok Yao is a lot, you know. Coming this from Kuok Yao.
Right.
Or coming this from an
Wow, it's
animation student itself is
changing.
already quite powerful. I
Oh,
feels like
true.
because I believe everyone also experienced the same thing, right? We don't sleep much. Look at my eye bag, right?
Yeah.
We don't sleep much. We do a lot of stuff. Oh my
Same,
god.
same.
Yeah. Victoria, what about you?
Me. Um, so how I keep my level of energy?
I mean, besides
Actually,
talking to me,
I mean, wait, what was I gonna say already? Oh, yeah. Okay. This was actually I had to learn this the hard way lah, because I feel like throughout my time growing up in high school and everything, I feel like I all the teachers lah, parents lah, relatives lah, they're always saying like as though anytime you are not spent doing work, you are very unproductive and you shouldn't do that. Oh, if you got time to rest, then you should have time to do work. What? That's the kind of mindset that I always keep hearing, you know. So when I came into TOA also, every time I'm not doing work, every time I'm even resting, even though I should be resting, I always feel so guilty. Like, oh no, why am I resting? Why am I resting? I should do work. Oh, I'm so tired, but I need to do work. So I guess that is one of the biggest reasons that also caused my burnout lah. But then, yeah, after all of that, after being in a very low spot and being super burnout, I realized how very, very important rest is. And since then, I've really tried to input rest a lot more into my schedule lah. Like sometimes there's even days, even one whole day where I barely do work, which is not how I used to be in the previous years. There can, like, sometimes if I do work for like one whole day already, then the next day I give myself rest for the whole day, maybe only do 1 or 2 hours of work because I can't completely stop doing work lah, because there's a lot of deadlines to catch up on. But yeah, and then what I do with those times are, I have a lot of hobbies. I like to do a lot of things. So I will watch shows or play games. And then I also like to go to the park in the evening to see a lot of cats and dogs. I really like animals. And then sometimes I would bake and cook, or I don't know, just a bunch of hobbies that I like. And also another thing is I'm always finding interest in something new. So recently also I started finding interest in fish keeping, and then I would like spend a lot of hours learning about how to rear fishes and dive myself into that hobby, making a whole aquascape and keeping all the pretty fishes. Yeah, so that's how I keep my level of energy lah as of now.
Nice. It seems like everyone agrees to have more rest, right?
Yes.
or maybe to say we
Yeah.
should put this rest into our schedule also, right? So that we can schedule the rest. We don't neglect the rest.
Yeah.
When we plan with our schedule, make sure that is in. Yep, well, I totally agree that, because I kind of do quite a few things in the same time. I got work, I got teach. I'm doing this right now, so I think because I feels like I kind of I wouldn't say master the rest. I wouldn't say that, but I try a lot of method, to rest myself and to really gain back all the energy. I mean, obviously, when I'm teaching, I have all the the young, the fresh thing, all in. that really helps a lot. And also really plan my schedule well, and really spending effort in tuning my time management. So I treat it like my animations, how I want my animation to be better. I want this to be more polished. So I treat it to my time management as well. I want this time management to be more polished. I have a lot of software to support me to do so and all. Yeah, and then I'm still working on it right now. Still looking for the best way to myself, not to anyone, to myself. Yeah, this is a very good topic lah, to not only to artists lah, I feel like to everyone that that really want to do something for long. That motivation, that passions is something that we need to hang in there. So I know that as an educator myself and as an animation student, like you guys, motivations not only comes from the students. Sometimes the lecturer helps a lot. I totally understand that. We can kind of give like a small push at the back, small pat at the back like that. So I am curious to know, like, what kind of teaching method suit you the most, and why?
I honestly need my lecturer to, if I can say, if my what I want, the ideal lecturer, I would want the lecturer to really tell me where I'm wrong at, to really like point out where my mistakes are, so I know where I stand. Not just like, I don't really like it when they sugarcoat, because like I think some lecturers do that, like sugarcoating our mistakes. Uh, it's okay. You did good. You did good. I want you to say what you really think, because if you sugarcoat too much, it won't help me. It won't help me in the long run, lah. But I also would appreciate it if lecturers appreciate me, like not exactly compliment, but then like acknowledge our efforts. Because even though sometimes the outcome might not be as good as you expected for the student to put, like give, but then right, we still put a lot of efforts. We still lose sleep because of it. We put a lot of like our thoughts into it, and for someone to just discard it, it can break someone's heart, lah, in my opinion, and it can break my heart. That's why, like, I would appreciate if you acknowledge our efforts. Like, at least know that we've been trying hard for this, and don't just like, this bad. Like, okay, if it's bad, yeah, but it would be so much better if they rephrase it to like, I know you put in a lot of effort, and I think that's good, but you're still da, 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 da. But I know you can do it because you're a hardworking person. It would really like make the student want like pumped up and really like, okay, I'm not there yet, but I know I can do it. I know I can. Like, if the lecturer just give us that kind of like, they create like such an atmosphere for us to think, to be in, to like such a mindset, to like, a positive one, and I think we can
I am nodding my
improve
head.
way more as a
Yep,
student.
like
Yeah.
yeah. I'm taking tips from Kenny.
Oh. I think you are like that too. No, but you are like that. I think you're like very appreciative of your students, and I guess that's what I like the most from like being taught by you. Because even though like it's as if you have like personal critic for everyone. Like, this student needs what, this students need what, and I think like that is the best thing educator can work on. Of course, it's not easy. That's why like students also need to be
Right.
tolerant towards their lecturers, because they have it hard. They see hundreds of students all the time. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying like.
What about you, Kuok Yao?
Yeah, I agree with some of the stuff that Kenny said as well. Like, don't sugarcoat stuff that you see when you critique student works. Like for teachers lah, generally. For me, it works best when a teacher or educator lays out the facts so that I know exactly everything as it is. Nothing is left out, so that I know exactly where I am lah in terms of progress. If I did it well, a compliment would be nice. If I did it wrong, definitely have to tell me like, oh, this is something you have to work on. And if I'm slipping, or if I'm not doing as well as I was expected to, definitely I need a kick in the butt lah. I'm that kind of student lah. Because sometimes I can be a bit laid back, and I myself wouldn't really notice it until it's too late. So it'd be nice if somebody could give me a kick in the ass. And in terms of like teaching methods, I think this is applicable to almost anyone, but definitely show not tell lah. It's better if you show the students how to do it. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
I also agree with Kenny, like every student has their own needs, right? Every student is different, right? So educators really do need to like cater how they teach to each student. Yeah. And I also agree that you do very well, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Victoria, what about you?
Yeah, I super completely agree with Kaylee lah on everything she said. I also need a lecturer that is objective lah, that doesn't just look at it and say like, oh yeah, it's good, okay, you can go on. Oh yeah, good job. Like there are some lecturers that are very very nice, and then they don't want to stress their student out too much, I guess they kind of set their standards low, and they always say like, oh yeah, okay, good, okay, you can proceed. Whereas I'm not getting any like proper feedback, I feel like. And then there's also the other end of it where the lecturer doesn't really care as when it's not that good. Like sometimes when they see and it's not as good as their expectations, they'll just be like, oh, this one isn't that good. But you don't know what's not that good also, and you don't really know what to improve on. Maybe they'll say like, oh, yeah, this part. I'm like, oh, but I don't really know how to work on that part also, or what I should do. So like what Keyne said and Kuok Yao also said, like I definitely need a lecturer that would tell me, okay, this part is bad because of this, and this is how you do it, and also this part is good, and why it's good, and also whether I have improved on that part or not. And also definitely a lot of words of encouragement because every single sem we are learning something new, and doing something new and trying to give like a super amazing outcome is really hard. So we'll have to spend so much effort and so many sleepless nights trying to get it to even look good. So it'd be nice if the lecturers at least give us some form of acknowledgement, saying like, oh yeah, I can see you tried really hard, you worked your best, or you worked really hard, and yeah, I know you can do this, and things like that lah. That would
Nice.
really
Thank you
help.
so much for this, sharing these thoughts about teaching method. One of the reason why I want to have this question is to really understand student more, because the way I teach is more cater to the person, because I really hope that with whatever I have in here, I can transfer all the knowledge to the person. I believe this is what educator would really want to do, right? And that's the job of educator, which is transfer the knowledge to the students. But then obviously with a lot of hiccup, a lot of reason and all, sometimes the message just kind of stop there, stop halfway there. It just won't go into everyone's head. So I just want to know more about that and see how I can fine tune the way I teach as well. Hopefully next time when I teach, it can go directly, like connect USB wire directly.
Wow.
That's my thoughts. But then when we're talking about teaching method, because it's teaching, right? Obviously, now the arrow is pointing towards the lecturer, like how we can do better. But I have a suggestions to all the student out there. As a student, yes, you have a lecturer, but when you step out to the industry, you might have a senior to guide you, or you might have a lead to guide you. But all in all, you are kind of on your own, right? You have your own responsibility on your own growth. So we don't rely too much on people, but we always ask ourselves what we can do as let's say a junior animator in the team, what I can do the best, right? Senior or lead is there to just help us, to just give us like a few kick, like what Kuok Yao mentioned, few kick at the back. But we need to take full ownership, full responsibility. That's my suggestion. Okay.
Basically, have the initiative.
Yes. Cool. Okay, the next one. What is your expectation with our animation industry? You guys are going to graduate pretty soon. What is your expectation? Or can you guys share with us what is the thing that you heard about the industry?
Kuok Yao, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Well, things that I've heard. Well, I must say from you, right? So mostly good things lah.
Sugarcoat.
But I mean, it's also true, right? Because like I mean, everyone has their own experiences in the industry. Yours happens to be a more positive one, or maybe you look at it positively, which is positive. uh, yeah, but I've also heard some bad stuff about it. I mean, as a student, we that's all we can kind of base our opinions on, right? Like rumors and stuff. Like worrying things like low pay, overtime, or like no career progression. That's always gonna be worries, lah. But for me, what I expect is, or what I want to achieve is like one day maybe I can direct my own movie, something like that. So hopefully I can do it, lah. Yeah.
Nice. Please hire me.
Wow.
Did I answer the question?
Are you done, Cora?
Yes. Yes.
Alright, nice.
Okay. Oh, okay. For me, yeah, of course, like the animation industry, especially, like a lot of you're gonna OT a lot, or you're gonna OT a lot. Like, there's so many of those rumors. But then, like, I've heard good stuff too, like from you and from my friend and from other videos online. Like, it's not always like that bad. And I think as like a person who wants to work, like you also need to like research on the company you want to apply to, right? Like
Oh, nice
one thing,
advice.
maybe you won't be accepted, maybe you won't be accepted, but if you're accepted, is that really a company that your morals fit with? Like that's I guess how I think about the industry is kind of like positive because of there are a lot of like bad stuff that I heard from other people too, but there are a lot of like good stuff too, and like TF or Passion Republic is takes. I heard they take good care of their employees lah, and gives me hope that other companies out there also do that too. Maybe we just don't know, because like even before meeting TM, like I also don't know much about Passion Republic, so I think it's about research also. Like you can't just like think about like see what the image like what is painted on like the animation industry. Like you really need to like see each industry, like each company have like their own way of like doing stuff. And I am personally excited because I am excited to meet all new people and hear how they think about animation and everything. And now as a student, most of like the people I meet are also like me, right? Like we still don't know, and we're still learning. And like if I am in a company, I will meet like people who have been in the industry for years, and I would love to like get to know more people like that, like to hear what they think of. So yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
What about you, Victoria?
Well, initially, all the information that I could get about the industry was from the news, right? And well, I guess news I guess when it comes to, uh, I guess I heard a lot of news lah that this industry will have a lot of overtime and a lot of like you have to stay back overtime lah. Sometimes you will need to stay on weekends. You don't get sleep, and then also I've seen people saying that the higher ups won't really notice you even though you're working so hard that it'll be hard for you to get a promotion and a raise, which really worried me at first because I'm like, what's the point then of me working so hard and not getting anywhere in my career? But as I talk to more people like you also and other lecturers who has experienced the industry, I've heard a lot of good things as well lah. Like the community in each industry. There's a few industry companies that has a really nice community, and also I guess what else would be the cool projects that the industry is working on. I mean, I see that Malaysia's industry is getting a lot of cool projects coming
Cool
in, which
stuff.
is which is really really amazing, and I'm really looking forward to that in the whole Malaysia industry in general. Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
You know, sir, I really feel like your existence as a whole makes me feel a bit more relieved. I mean,
Oh.
more secure of the industry. That there are people out there that, you know, actually appreciate animation and want to work to make the industry better in Malaysia.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for saying that. You know, this is one of the reasons why I do this YouTube thing, this interview series thing, because I've met with a lot of talented people in this industry, a lot of people that has full of passion. Now, I really want to hope to create more platform. I mean, to serve as one of the platforms so that they can shine. You know, we all as an artist, we can shine, we can share more, you know, stuff like this to people. You know, not just only the bad stuff, right? Or the news. Not only that. But it is nice that nowadays internet, you know, it's so easy to access that you can just search whatever you want to search online. You can kind of find a lot of stuff. I feel like that kind of push some of the organizations to improve the way they treat, you know, the artists or their teammate also. That is a good thing, I would say. There's a lot of like a review platform out there. If you are looking for a job right now, for sure you can go and search, like what Keyne mentioned. You can research, you know, go into their Facebook or wherever, you know, stalk them to really understand them. Well, then speaking about OT, and that is true from my personal experience. I do OT a lot with the early career, but I really want to break down this OT thing to everyone. The OT means overtime. The first one
sorry,
is
guys.
where you want to OT yourself. You choose to OT yourself. The second one is you are forced to OT. So I guess the bad one is on the forced side, right? In my career, I am never, or maybe most of my time is always on the good side. Is where I feels like I am bad. I am just not good enough. I do not have time. I do not have enough time to catch up my seniors' work. I need to be as good as them in the shortest amount of time. So even I finish work already, I go back, I have to train my animations, my bouncing ball, my pendulum animations, because I learn new trick from my seniors. Do you count that as OT? Right? So to me, I don't count that as an OT because me myself, I want it to be better. Right? I chose to OT. But to those, unfortunately, that you cannot choose and you are being forced to do so, then that is where the unhappy happen. Okay, first we need to break it down first, okay? In my professional career, most of the time when I OT is because I am slow. It's because I feels like we can do better one, right? Even though the deadline is short or whatever, but I think for sure we can do it with method, you know, with ways, with good communication with the client. I feel like we can do it. Maybe we are standing on the middle lah. The line is pretty thin, you know. So yeah, you'll find your way, I believe, and I hope that the more we talk about overtime, you know, the more the organizations will kind of pick this up also. You know, hopefully everyone is trying their best, you know, to do this work-life balance thing that everyone's talking about, right? Which is amazing. Cool. Then the next question. This one is quite important. It's quite stressful to ask one. What's the plan after you graduate?
I think it's one of the scariest thing to ask a student who is about to graduate.
Yeah. But I
when you're
believe it will
still
benefit to our audience, right?
yeah, when you're still in, like year 1, year 2, oh, I want to do this, and then you think you will like improve a lot in like 2 years. Like you have this unrealistic expectations for yourself also, I must say. And then when you want to graduate, it's actually in just a few months. I don't know when.
Yeah.
I
Just half more year.
oh no, no, okay, let's not talk about okay, but let's not talk about the time, but what I plan to do. Honestly, I am not sure. To be honest, I am not 100% set on anything. But in terms of like wanting to work straight away, I think for now I do want a very short break, at least like 2 months or 3 months after I graduate. I polish everything first before I properly like apply to companies now because I think because I'm a foreigner, right? I mean, we're in Malaysia. I'm Indonesian, and I'm supposed to be able to go home every few months, right? Because our SAM rate. But then I haven't been able to go home for over a year. So I think I want to go home and spend time with my parents, spend time with my family, like because there have been like a lot of times that I miss what they do, like yeah, a lot of stuff, and I want to kind of like make up for it. I also like miss my home, and I feel like that would do a good thing, a good change for my mind also, like, because I've been like alone and I'm just like keep on like Sandbreak also doesn't feel like Sandbreak now because of like the pandemic, COVID. Yeah, but in terms of in the industry itself, like I thought growing up, I always want to work in like films, like cinematic and stuff like that. But like learning more, hearing other people's experiences, and seeing how Malaysia's like game industry is like, and that makes me interested in game industry too. So I'm honestly open for anything right now. Um, I definitely need to like add a lot of stuff to my own like memory also. So I guess as I slowly think about it, and because we're kind of like being these past few weeks have been really busy with our final year project because it's like the pre-production, so it's so frustrating for us. So I haven't been able to think about my future a lot. Like I really need to like spend time to sit down and decide what I want to do. But I guess I'm leaning towards game industry for now.
Yay.
Woo!
Okay, Kuok Yao, what about you?
For me, well, there is what I want and then what my parents want lah. So it's like a tale of two.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So my current opinion now is to go and work if I can find a job lah. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I can polish my portfolio until it looks good enough, or maybe go and find a job somewhere. But I think most of my relatives, my parents, feel like I should go and pursue a degree because in one academy you only get a diploma, right?
Right.
And their reasoning is like, wow, now in today's day and age, not having a degree is like having a degree is a must. It's like basic requirements to get a job anywhere. And they say like, if you want to go overseas, like maybe Singapore or something, they don't really accept people who don't possess a bachelor's degree or whatever. So I'm not really keen on it, but if I'm going down that route, maybe I can pursue like a bachelor's in filmmaking or game design because I also am very interested in game design. Uh, I grew up playing games, and I find like for me, games is like the next step in entertainment. Like you went from like opera to film, now it's to game, right? Because it's getting more and more interactive, so more and more people are investing into it. So I feel like in terms of that industry is more promising for the future. So I'm very interested in games. If I can find a job related to games, that would be the dream lah.
Nice. What about you, Victoria?
So throughout my whole time studying in TUA, every time I think about what I will do after graduating, it always depends on my energy. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I still have enough energy. Oh, I can't wait to go into the industry. But then sometimes also I'm like so no energy, and I'm like, maybe I'll wait for a few months. But as of right now, I am very tired working on our FYP, and I have been thinking of taking maybe a few months break after graduating to polish my a demo reel if it hasn't been polished, and work on my own personal projects and stuff like that. Like work on brushing up my own skills, then only start applying for jobs. But either ways, the industry wise, I've really been very keen on those cinematic um, animation kind of industry, like Glow Productions. I've been looking at a lot of their works and I've been getting super inspired by them. And I think what they do is really cool. So yeah, that's like number one on my list right now. And I really hope that, yeah, I really hope that I can be good enough to enter that kind of industry. But second to that, I think it would be games, although I really do like films and acting, and I think that the Malaysian film industry is really growing a lot now, which is really cool. But I still feel more inclined towards the gaming industry in Malaysia because also like I see that we've been getting a lot of cool projects from overseas which sounds really cool to work on. And I mean, other than that also, like Passion now is having their own IP, right, with Giga Bash, which I've been
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
I follow the TikTok,
Nice.
I actually heard about Giga Bash before you mentioned about it, actually, like last year or something.
Oh, okay.
I did see them working on it, and I thought it's super cool that uh, Malaysia is also getting a lot of their own IPs coming up. Like also recently, there's the No Straight Road, which was super cool. So yeah, I think that the in gaming industry in Malaysia right now is growing a lot, and it looks very exciting, which I feel more keen on being a part of.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing all this to our audience. I hope that it kind of hopefully it lifts up a little bit, the industry. Wow,
Giga Bash
thank you
guy.
so much. It's on Steam, it's on
Oh.
Epic too. Okay, I mean, thank you so much everyone for sharing your thoughts about the industry and all. Yes, we are getting more and more exciting project, but that also means that I mean, we need more people also, we need more talent. That also means that we have more. That also means that we need more. I mean, the task that we are doing is hard. It's not easy at all. Okay, and that is the industry right now. We are all improving, even our output. In terms of art, in terms of efficiency, it is all leveling up. I see that as a good thing. Right. Okay. Cool. I mean, it's so different compared to my time when I was still a student. I know nothing about the industry at all. I just do not want to stay in Malaysia. I'm so sorry because with all the, I don't know, like parents or friends or family saying I don't want to stay in Malaysia or whatever. And even my parents, they are not in Malaysia. I mean, that time they are paying my tuition fee overseas. I'm super lucky to have them to do so. So I always feels like I want to go overseas. I do not want to stay in Malaysia. But then for some reason, after 10 years, I'm still here. I mean, not for some reason, for a lot of reason. This YouTube is part of the reason that I'm still staying in Malaysia. And we
Oh,
really
okay.
need to have more talent, in this Malaysian industry. Okay, now I have the last questions only, and then we're done after this. Okay, what you have learned the most in my
Whoa.
class, and what is the biggest takeaway?
I learned a lot. A lot. Uh, I definitely learned a lot in terms of animation because, well, that's what you teach. But I also learned a lot from you, like as a person, like your morals and everything. In terms of animation, I from your demos and everything, like I am definitely less scared in controlling my graph editor. Like back then, one of like what Victoria said, we've only been animating for a year, right? And then we had like 3 semesters. The first one is just a really like introduction. We animate like bouncing ball and like a pill, and we did a walk cycle, and that's it. Like the most we got close to like an entire body is a walk cycle. And then the second semester is like body mechanics, but then we're also still very new, and I'm not, when I look back at it, oh, what am I doing? Yeah, and yeah, during that semester also, like if I had like, oh, for example, wow, like this very nice, and then I messed up something, and like for example, I want to like enhance it, but then it's so, it doesn't, it's not as smooth anymore, and I used to be like very very scared because I don't know how to achieve the same result. But I feel like in your class, I am like more inspired to just go with it.
Right.
Just save as many files as possible, and if it doesn't work, just go back to your old file. And I do that. I think I save a lot, maybe a
He
bit
saves
too many
over
files
100
actually.
files.
A lot.
Wow, you gotta buy more hard disks.
No, but after an assignment is done, I go delete. But I have a lot of trust issues, especially with Maya crashing. I just like save. Yeah, and that has helped me a lot in terms of being able to control the graph because I'm less scared, and it kind of gives me like, oh, I need to be able to like fix it if things go wrong, and I feel like I've been improving on that. And how you observe like animation, like a reference. Like I used to write, I don't know how to write my notes in Sketch actually. I'm like, what? How do I remind myself this is what I want to do? And like, and I think like what I mentioned, I set a lot of keys. I think one of the reason I set a lot of keys is also because I don't know how to write my notes. I don't know how to observe my animation and my reference. So I just like, oh, I moved this set key. Like I just end up following all my notes, and that is the problem. But then with your class, I changed the way I write notes also. I mean, as a beginner, I still write a lot of notes, and I have like several notes for. So I have like ask K. If I want to like set key, I put set key. But then I have like all my notes like how, because I used to only see, oh, this hand move here, but then you tell us how to like, oh, this arm, you really see how they swing, and you go really this arm, this leg, and I used to just see it as a whole, like when is this character moving? So even if like this character is just, but then like the arm is like this, I go Saki for the entire like the entire
Okay.
thing. That's why it's so like, yeah, that's one of like the other greater thing that I learned in terms of animation from your class. But in terms of like looking up to you as like a lecturer, a person, I really admire how you manage your time because you have, looking at you, I feel like you have a lot of hobbies, and I feel like I have a lot of hobbies too. At least not actually hobbies that I do, but I have a lot of wants. And seeing you like manage your time properly for that and still having energy to see the students, to attend to your work and yeah, your company, uh um it really inspired me to fix the way I do stuff, the way I manage my time and everything. And I'm sorry if I'm taking too much time. Just one last thing. I I learned one more thing that I really want to say is one of the first time I reached out to TM is also when I overthink also. And he said it's good to over not it's good to overthink, but it's good to know means you care. And I agree, like, oh yeah, I overthink so much because I care about this thing. I really want to make it work. But then this overthinking will really, really slow down my process in learning. And he said, what if you just convert that nervousness to and anxiety to like being excited? And that has helped me a lot. And whenever like I'm down, I see like good animations. Like I follow a bunch of like accounts on Instagram and elsewhere, like I really see, and maybe sometimes I put them on Sing Sketch and just like really see how they do it, and it gets me like pumped up and excited now instead of like nervous. Like I want to be as good, not like will I ever be as good? Like I kind of like changed the way I think because of your class. That's why I think it has been such a blast to be able to be
Thank you so
taught by you
much
and
for the
learn a lot
kind
of things.
words.
Thank you. That's all.
Well, for me, I I feel like I changed a lot in your class, to be honest. Like the way I do things, the way I even learn stuff now. Your class has had quite an impact on how I do things nowadays. Even in my final project. Well, let's talk about the technical stuff that I learned first, So, um, in terms of animation, I learned a lot more about like subtle movements, the importance of uh, like how like let's say if you were to move your finger, right, you would the movement will like kind of flow throughout the rest of your body, so to make it more organic stuff. Like let's say it's like shake, wave your hand like this, right? Even your hips will move, stuff like that. So before that, I never really pay attention to it, but I feel like after your class, I would do a lot more of these like slightly smaller details that will make the animation look more organic, and there's a lot more other stuff like that. I will have to go and remember that. And it's okay, I remember. In terms of character wise, um, I feel like before your class, right, I was a lot more stubborn in terms of like doing things my own way, lah. Like usually I would take like lecturers' feedback as more like suggestion, but I would usually like, what I think is best law, like I would go down the way. So I feel like I really wasn't learning much in that sense. But in your class, you really forced me to take that feedback. Like for example, like follow your video reference. Like that's another thing that I learned. Like stuff like that really changed the way that I learn and you know do things nowadays. I think it's quite important as well. So thank you for that.
No problem. My pleasure.
He really is getting better.
Like a
Though.
drug addict that's like kind of getting better now. Yeah.
EM's class was your rehabilitation.
Yeah, you're clean now. You're clean now.
What I learned most in your class would be, I guess, one thing is every time you do demos for us, we would see how you animate, right? And I will always see how you can animate so freely, and you just like move the graph, and then you're like, oh, this one I feel like okay, it should be here. Then you just move. Like you don't even have to. You just animate so freely, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Because usually how I animate, I'm always like, I just tweak a bit. I'm like, is that right? Is that right? Should I undo? So I guess what I learned from your class is to being more confident in animating lah. Like before this, I was always so scared to even touch certain controls, and so many times I ask my friends for their own feedback, and they're like, huh, why you barely move this control? Why you barely move that control? They look so stiff. I'm like, really? But I feel like I move a lot already. Eh? So actually from like my first animation in your class until the last, you can see how much more I move the controls and how much more confident I am in animating all those stuff. Yeah, and and also personally, I feel like your class has impacted me on a personal level as well. Just from the way I see how you bring yourself out, every class you're always very positive and always uh telling us I don't know, sharing stuff with us, and it's always very motivating to see someone like you. It's very fresh, how you are so passionate in animation and also so enthusiastic with so many other things in life, and it really makes me feel yeah, it makes me feel like I should look at life more positively as well lah. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for all the kind word. I am so happy to hear that and learn that from everyone here. That is all my hard work. Yes, yes, yeah, I'm flattered and I'm happy also.
Inside, you're like,
And yes, I have a lot of hobbies. Um, yes, I am doing a lot of stuff also. I'm still trying to manage my time, better so that I can do more stuff, as a human. To enjoy more thing, as a
wow,
human.
wow.
But it is a good motivation for me as well, since we ask like student like what motivate you guys, whatever things that you guys mentioned motivates me to do better also like even or at least maintain whatever I have right now. I'm happy enough. Okay, but anyway, thank you so much, everyone here. Thank you so much for joining me in this interview series here. Hopefully, this interview can reach out to more people that is interested in this animations industry. People that is looking for a course to study or whatever. I will not promote anything now. But I just hope to share more insight on the every artist or every animators or people that I know. I just hope to share more to people. Okay, so I'm gonna say this again. Please like and subscribe if you are interested in such content. Okay, I guess that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me. The two of you. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you for
good luck to
inviting
your final
us.
year project,
Oh, thank you. We
and
need that
good luck
luck.
in finding job as
We need
well.
that luck.
Oh, we need that too.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much,
you.
everyone. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.